What's up, everybody? Welcome to Soy News, streaming live from TwitchCon 2025. Had to check that.
2025. That's right. 10-year anniversary of TwitchCon.
Yeah, some of you chatters, that's a pejorative, might recognize Enemy Charlie from enemycharlie.com/twitch. Shut up, go check her out. And she's going to help me cover the news because otherwise I wouldn't be here.
I'll be doing a less good job than him with the news.
Don't worry, we're going to read the article together. This will be a learning stream. Okay? Yeah.
Perfect. I love to learn. Oh, let me pull up that chat.
Yeah, pull up the chat so I'm actually able to read like what the hell my delicious audience is saying.
Not your delicious.
Yo! Charles, 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 Charles. That's what they're
It's
saying.
me.
They all want you.
Hello.
So we just met Gavin Newsom, and he's a hot guy. So he's got my vote.
He's a gorgeous
He's
man.
a gorgeous Aryan man.
Gorgeous man. Well,
He's an Aryan man. That's what we need right now. We need
really?
we need some Aryan energy right now because right.
Jesus Christ.
Look, you compare the JD Vance family photos to the Gavin Newsom family photos. Who's gonna win the racist vote?
The race Newsom. You're right. He would be winning the racist votes, though I think his wife is Jewish.
You had to say that on stream.
I know.
That was a secret.
I'm sorry.
They didn't know
fuck,
that.
I just ruined it. I ruined everything.
All right, guys,
Damn
we're
it.
covering the news. The news. What's the news? What's going on? As fun as TwitchCon is, did you know the Supreme Court is potentially going to take your rights away? Were you guys aware of this?
Did you know?
Yeah, so we're going to go through this article together, but for those of you who don't know, the Voting Rights Act was this great thing that let people vote. And, in some ways it did favor certain black districts because there's this thing. Have you heard of this? It's called racism.
No, enlighten me.
Yeah,
What
so
is this racism?
imagine like white people
Mm,
and they were like, "Hey, black people, we don't like you very much."
mm.
Like it's kind of stupid, right?
Yeah.
But
that
then
sounds
they
terrible.
just did that for like hundreds of years.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden they're like, "What if we made this illegal?"
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Right?
right? That sounds good.
That sounds like a good thing to make illegal.
I would
Yeah.
assume. And yet we're stripping that away. And like unironically, this is an argument and they made this with affirmative action where they were like, "When is this too much? Like, at what point do we cut this off? Because it can't be indefinite, right? Eventually, the downstream effects of racism will probably be rectified. They're not yet. But the idea that they had with affirmative action was, well, by this point, black people are equal, so we could take this away, which is just not true. If you just look at the demographics and the districts and all this stuff, it is not the same generational wealth. But that is apparently the precedent where what they're about to do here.
They say
Racism
that
will
black people have caught up.
Well, we had a black president. I still see people saying we had a black president. It's over now. Soypill, I just joined. Who's the girl? This is Enemy Charlie. Okay, you've seen her before. She's a frequent guest. Don't forget her name. Thank you, first name, last name, for the $5. Much love from Charlotte, North Carolina. Going to the No Kings protest tomorrow. I am also going, so I won't see you there because I'll be in San Diego. But anyone in San Diego who wants to protest Kings, come look for the spinny hats. But unfortunately, there's a lot of those at TwitchCon right now. So
There's a lot of them wandering around. Do you have like a little? Do they know you? Is that?
it's not my fans, I don't think, because I don't sell the
As
hats
far
yet.
as you know.
That guy didn't seem to know who I was. I did have a fan recognize me in the airport, and no shade to you, but I was in a hurry, so I hope the photo you took of me wasn't like
You're
angry.
like sweaty and like.
I was like, hey, hurry, take the photo. All right, so let's go through this, guys. What's going on? So the U.S. Supreme Court has stated on Wednesday to hear arguments in a dispute over the composition of Louisiana electoral districts. So first off, if you guys are reading this and you're like, well, it's just Louisiana, just like all the other Supreme Court precedents, this starts with a singular case, with a singular state, with some sort of smaller thing, and that sets a precedent that expands to everything else. So keep in mind, like, this is not going to be limited here in the same way that all of these other cases expand into getting rid of gay marriage. So this might imperil a key section of the Voting Rights Act, which is the 1965 federal law enacted by Congress to prevent racial discrimination in voting. A group of black voters has appealed a lower court's finding that a voting map that added a second black majority congressional district in Louisiana was guided too much by racial considerations in violation of the constitutional promise of equal protection under the law. So the idea is, if I'm reading this correctly, I do think the people that are protesting this are black Republicans. I'm not 100% sure, but let's keep reading. Louisiana, where black people make up roughly a third of the population, has 6 U.S. House representative districts. Black voters tend to support Democratic candidates. The Supreme Court has a 6-3 conservative majority. Thanks to Hillary Clinton for losing for that, and everyone who didn't vote for it. We're still feeling the ramifications. So, guys, when people say that every election is the most important election of our time, it's because every election is the most important election of our time. It just happens every 4 years.
Well, and RBG probably could have maybe stepped out a little earlier.
It was her turn. Live forever.
Live forever.
That was the motto. RBG,
never
live forever.
Die. RBG.
Hashtag never die.
Live forever.
I think they should have weekended Bernie's her for like the entirety of the Trump administration.
Yes.
Just just have like Sotomayor
Yeah, just
and
like behind her, like.
Ooh, I'm dissenting really well. Yeah, but yeah, ramifications, guys. Sorry. The case gives the conservative justices a chance to undercut a central element of the Voting Rights Act. The law section 2 prohibits electoral maps that result in a diluting the clout of minority voters, even without direct proof of racist intent. So I don't know if you guys remember, I think it's the North Carolina case where they were redistricting, they were using all this crazy software, and their pretense was, we're just trying to get an advantage in Republican districts. But what actually ended up happening was they were surgically targeting black people. Like literally that is verbatim what the judge said in this case. Like, hey, you are picking IDs, voter IDs that are specifically held majority by black people and saying those ones won't count. And even if you're not trying to be racist, which they obviously were, this is absolutely a racist law. And so this is very similar where you can't do redistricting that is, even if it's not intentionally racist, removing power from black districts. So this provision gave greater significance as a bulwark against racial discrimination and voting after the Supreme Court in a 2013 ruling authored by conservative Chief Justice John Roberts, gutting a different part of the same law. So they've been eating away at this for 50 years. They're still pretty salty about the whole getting rid of racism thing, if you didn't know. And we'll see their true feelings in the group chat segment that's coming up, guys. Don't worry. Imagine if Bernie wasn't screwed by the DNC. Okay, Shinister, I kind of addressed this in my video. Bernie was screwed insofar as like he didn't have the backing of the establishment, but like that's kind of the point of why he lost. It's not like he would have won if they didn't do that. It's he couldn't make the inroads with the establishment. So as much as I like him, it's like, hey, you can't make the deals with the establishment. There's not enough Bernie clouters in the establishment of the Senate and the House, and that means you're not going to win. And that means I think it would have been really bad if Bernie won, unironically, because he wouldn't have been able to pass anything, and it would have made all the progressive policies look like dog shit. I think it would have smeared us. I think if anything, it's kind of a silver lining that Bernie lost and has been able to push the Overton window without having to prove that it works, because even if it does work, and I do think it will, he can't get those laws passed. Like, we barely passed Obamacare. I don't think Bernie would have been able to get single payer. So they were 31.
That way, actually.
That's copium. I really just wish it.
I mean, like, yeah, that it's like there was something good. I mean, they could have maybe not run like one of the least liked women in America.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to stop with women, guys. Women aren't working out for that.
We hate
failed experiment.
Damn it.
See, okay, by the way, guys, that was an example of obviously a joke, right?
Yes.
And we're going to see how that's clearly not what we're going to look at with these leaked texts, by the way. Republicans currently hold a slim majority in the U.S. House. A decision invalidating Section 2 could allow Republicans to configure as many as 19 House districts. So that's an insane amount, just FYI. According to a report by Democratic-affiliated advocacy groups Fair Fight Action and Black Voters Matter Fund, in a process called redistricting. Well, they actually have to call it redistricting. See, Reuters is great, but even though I would assume their audience is usually smart, this is a little bit of a dumbing down. The boundaries of legislative districts across the United States are reconfigured every decade. So keep in mind, guys, redistricting is supposed to happen every decade. The next decade it's supposed to happen is 2030. There's a reason they're doing this right now. It's because the midterms are coming up. They know they're unpopular. They know the shutdown is going to hurt their numbers, and they want to win. So this is, as much as, people like to call the other side, oh, they're cheating. It's like, this is cheating. This is like redistricting for no reason in the middle of an election. After Louisiana's Republican-controlled legislature adopted a map that included just one black majority district. So just one in 2020. To be clear, if you remember a few paragraphs ago, I know we're talking in between this, it is a 33% black state. And one of those districts, just one of those districts.
Do they have?
I don't know off the top of my head, but let's see. Districts, I can't type with one hand. Let's see.
How many do they have?
Looks like, I'm going to say 6. No, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so
they should have.
it should have at least 2.
At
if it's a
least two.
33,
Yeah.
right? If not, maybe more, depending on how these maps are drawn. But they're always carving them up. And I cut this line out of my new video, but I think I said like districts in all these states look like Dr. Seuss trees. Like they're not like,
They
oh,
do. They're
here's
like-
the block. Dad, I'm streaming. I should have answered.
Dad, I'm streaming.
He's been on stream before.
Oh, that's so
when I was
cute.
talking with Destiny,
Uh-huh.
I was like, here, let's pull the average liberal voter. And I'm like, Dad, what do you think about this? He's like, oh, because he's a lawyer. And he's like, I don't know what I should say. Soy pill, can we look at your search history? Absolutely not. Can't type with one hand. I see soy. Guys, who's jerking off and typing at the same time? Everyone always makes that joke.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't get it.
oh, it's like you
who is
play the
like-
video and then you use
and
your
then
hands.
You use the hands, and then you.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I
then
don't
you
get
type
it.
for the next video. You're not
Yeah.
like, oh, next video. Like, unless you're, I guess the gooners, they're like constantly like, next vid, next
Oh,
vid,
they're
next vid.
looking for the one.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're,
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's
got all
ridiculous.
the monitors up,
So dumb.
playing 30 videos at a time.
Unoptimal gooning, I'll say.
Mhm.
Anyway, the state legislature responded by drawing a new map that added a second black majority district. Like, oh my God, there's now equal representation for black people. The map prompted a separate lawsuit by 12 Louisiana voters who described themselves in court papers as non-African American. Excuse me, I said initially this was black Republicans. It doesn't seem to be the case, but I must have misread. They argued that the second black majority district unlawfully reduced the influence of non-black voters. So the real victims, white people here, white people who make up a majority, have been discriminated against by adding
12 of them.
two out of the 6 things favor black people, who, by the way, aren't necessarily going to vote Democrat.
Yeah,
There are
which
black
is
Republicans.
It just, yep.
Says the redrawn map relied too heavily on race in violation of the equal protection principle. A 3-judge panel found in a 2-1 ruling, prompting the appeal to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will hear arguments for the second time this year in the case. It also did so in March, but then in June sidestepped a decision and ordered another round of arguments. The state initially had appealed the 3-judge panel's ruling and argued in March on the same side as the black voters, but has now changed its stance and is urging the justices to forbid race-conscious map drawing altogether. So this is what I was talking about, where it's like, isn't it racist to take into account that they're black? And it's like, yes, in a vacuum, if nothing had happened in the past and today we were just like, okay, now black people get their own district, that would be racist. But this is specifically trying to counter like this historical segregation and like disenfranchisement of black
Yes.
people, which still has downstream effects today. And everyone likes to pretend that racism just ended in the 60s.
Isn't it common for like in like black districts for there to be like fewer voting like places to vote?
Yes. So I talked. My first video ever was on like voter ID, and like you can see how they try to shut down polling places, shut down DMVs so they can't register to vote and get IDs. Like
wow.
this is just a tactic they've been used for. I mean, ever since even after the Civil War, when they first got the right to vote, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, here's your fucking test, and if you can't pass this test, it's like incredibly long and difficult and intentionally obscure, and in 10 minutes you can't vote. Literacy tests and all that. So this is, unfortunately, like people like to paint us as this like post-racial society, and then I really think it's cringe when everyone's like, America is just as racist as it was in the 1860s. But in some ways, it's like this is what they're doing. They're just less blatant about it.
Yes.
But as we'll see in our next article,
they know.
they clearly think a certain thing. They're just not saying it because thank God we've at least been able to make it not illegal, but like socially shameable.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We look down on people who are openly racist for now.
For now, knock on wood.
There's no wood. This is wood, I guess.
Woody enough.
Counts. Yeah.
So, Republican President Donald Trump's administration. See, like, why do you have to say Republican president? That's what, like, sometimes Reuters, I'm like, okay, everyone knows
maybe
that.
they're just trying to help, like, maybe people not from the U.S. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who the fuck doesn't know who Donald Trump is?
Yeah, who can say? I mean, I'm sure someone lives under a rock. Maybe like uncontacted tribes. This is like the first thing they get. Like they get on the ship and they're not like, let's try chocolate, let's read a book, let's communicate with people I've never met.
Let's read Reuters.
It's like, let's read Reuters.com about the Voting
Yes,
Rights Act.
yes.
Well, what's that? What's the Voting Rights Act? Wait, what's voting? What's rights? What's an act? What's English?
Exactly.
It supports the challenge to the Voting Rights Act on separate legal grounds. The Supreme Court has rolled back protections under the VRA. Its 2013 ruling in a case involving Alabama's Shelby County gutted a VRA provision that had required states and locals with a history of racial discrimination to get federal approval to change voting laws. The court, however, ruled 5-4 in 2023 that a Republican-drawn electoral map in Alabama violated Section 2, siding with black voters who had challenged the map and had sought an additional black majority congressional district. Roberts and fellow conservative Justice Brett Kavanaugh joined the court's 3 liberals to form a majority. So, as much as I like to say the, Supreme Court is captured, weirdly enough, some of these people are still principled or are not as radicalized, and just because Trump picked them doesn't mean they're going to side with him 24/7. Sure, They gave him the immunity ruling, which is like you can do whatever the
Yeah,
fuck you want
which very
ever.
bad.
But they
Yes.
still kind of like aren't. It's not like, oh, all hope is lost. These people are just Trump surrogates.
Mm.
Sometimes they do side with like more reasonable things.
Not
So
often. What's that female judge that
Amy Coney Barrett.
yeah, aren't they they're the two that usually I think vote in unexpected ways.
It's so funny. You watch the right wing
Hmm.
watch Amy Coney Barrett side with a liberal, and they're like, women should have never had this
Yeah.
job. Like, she
Yep.
betrayed our cause,
Yep.
repeal the 19th. And it's like,
Jesus
God forbid
Christ.
she like have a principle every once in a
I
while.
know, oh my God.
We got a Obama in chat right there. Hello, Obama. All right. So essentially, what you need to know about this is the precedent for what they're trying to do in the midterms. We've got the redistricting. We've got the this Voting Rights Act thing. They are trying everything they can to steal seats. So if you're in California, please vote yes on Prop 50, Gavin Newsom's thing to allow us to redistrict and get some seats back. It's a race to the bottom. I think Republicans can redraw more, but the more we can get and fight back against before the midterms is better. But yeah, I'm not trying to doom pill you all, but like they're trying everything they can to like cheat their way into the
Yep.
winning in the midterms because they know how unpopular they are with this healthcare stuff, with the shutdown. Like that is going to reflect poorly on them. And so like if Democrats fail, God forbid, in getting people healthcare, the red voters are the ones who are going to get hurt. Like Californians, we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we'll
will
have
always be
healthcare.
fine.
Gavin
Yeah.
Newsom, we're gonna get some like California Medicaid or
Yeah.
Medi-Cal
Yeah.
or whatever, and all these hospitals are gonna shut down. And all these people are gonna die, and maybe they'll still get propagandized into blaming Democrats, but
Somehow. But it's literally going to be the impoverished red states that suffer the most.
yeah.
Their grandpappies are going to die. Their sick will die. Their children will die.
They also ruled that ICE can racially profile Hispanic people. Yeah, so that's the thing is like as much as it's like, well, in 2023 they voted a certain way. It's like, yeah, and they said like it's okay to use race as a precedent for profiling. So like it's really a toss up.
That's
I don't have faith in the conservative justices, but
no,
it could be worse. They could all just be taking direct orders from Trump. Instead, sometimes they're kind of corrupt and get these $1 million boats and paid vacations from Harlan Crow, who has Nazi statues in his garden. But sometimes they don't do that.
Sometimes they do okay things.
Yeah. Speaking of a Nazi occupied government, let's take a look at this leaked messages from the Young Republicans racist chat.
Would it be controversial if after this we show pictures of what the people in the chat look like?
Absolutely not. Guys, make fun of these people. I know if you look like these people and you're catching strays, take that as a lesson that you should improve and not try to look like the grossest people inside and out. Okay? But we are going to body shame them, okay? So these are because these people claim, if you are
If you claim to be the master race.
yes, if you're like a left-wing person, let's say you're overweight, let's say you don't have good hygiene, like you should try to improve that, but you shouldn't like feel just automatic shame from that.
Yeah,
But if
there's
you're
nothing wrong
claiming
with it.
if you're claiming that you are the master race and you look like this, you deserve to be mocked. Absolutely.
Yes.
So let's look at this. So what happened? The Young Republicans, it's a countrywide group of people. And by the way, the JD Vance and all these sycophants, all these propagandists who are saying it's just college kids. These are like people in their 20s and 30s. These are not
Late
children.
20s. I think the oldest was 35.
Yeah.
Youngest was 27. So
Yeah.
27 to 35.
Yeah. So this is people that should know better. And to be clear, I'm going to preface this. I think I tweeted about this. I make dumb jokes. I'll make anti-Semitic jokes. I've probably said I love Hitler in some context as a joke, right? But the difference is when you look at the totality of what I advocate for, which is, hey, let's make sure everyone has rights. Let's make sure the country is like on progress to have like everyone equal and make sure everyone like is lifted up. That is not the same as these people who ostensibly are supporting fascists, Nazi adjacent people, even sharing, retweeting Nazis. And then they say stuff like this. And it's like, yeah, like, how much are you really joking? Like,
Yes, you can tell when someone is being sarcastic and just making a joke. But it's also, I mean, half of these things aren't even jokes because they're not even remotely funny. There's no punchline. It's just we hate this group of people.
right. So like they love watermelon people. It's like, okay, if someone tried to make me laugh by saying something horrible, like they like whispered the N-word in my ear, the joke is that like you're not supposed to fucking say that. And it would be so absurd for someone to whisper that in my ear. It's so dumb. And it's like, oh, you're hilarious. Like that's stupid. It's like, saying 9/11 stuff. It's the shock value of I am completely breaking decorum, not I hate black people. These people are in a group chat where no one else is reading it, and the shock value is not there because they're doing it every other message saying, oh yeah, let's just call these people watermelon people. This is because they don't like black people. There's a very obvious difference here, but they're always going to hide behind, it's just a joke, it's just a joke. But let's look into what actually happened here. So leaders of the young Republican groups throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyway.
Do you want a popcorn read?
Oh yeah, do you want to read?
Sure, we can go.
She has a degree in reading because she's a fucking nerd.
2 degrees in reading.
Okay, so what are you trying to popcorn so you save me
Yeah.
from saying the worst parts?
No.
Or do you specifically want to read the
I
slurs?
want to read the slurs. I'm not going to read the slurs.
Got it.
They referred to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about raping their enemies and driving them to suicide and lauded Republicans who they believed support slavery.
Right. So we're going to look at some of these more examples, but again, it's like when you look at the context of these things, there's a difference between an edgy joke and what is clearly advocating for something and then maybe a slight exaggeration. Like, if someone's like, oh man, wouldn't it be so much better if we put them in re-education camps? And that's coming from like a tanky. It's a slight exaggeration, but they actually do believe that we need to like de-radicalize people with re-education camps.
Yeah.
If like me or Charlie said that, it's a joke making fun of the people who think we need gulags, because obviously we never would advocate for that.
Right.
And like you have to look at the totality of this. And it's so funny that JD Vance of all people is like defending these people, just like he defended, it wasn't Big Balls, but who was the person who tweeted like normalize Indian hate, which wasn't even a joke.
Which was crazy. His
Right.
wife is Indian.
His wife is
children are
Indian.
Indian.
Right. His children are Indian, and he's like, look, it's just a mistake. Like, we can forgive this. This was in the past. This was like 6 months ago. It wasn't like...
This was, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, your husband or your father, like, hating you so much? Like, just...
I don't think he hates them. It's more just like he's clearly willing to use Nazis and racists and fascists to his ends, which is so obviously going to end poorly. Like, the end goal of that is, well, okay, sure, we put them in
But
power.
like, imagine, like, their self-esteem, you know? Like, knowing that their dad is not gonna stick up for them.
Yeah.
Or their husband.
I'm sure he
is
just
never
doesn't
gonna...
tell them, you know?
I mean, but they can read the news. They're old enough.
Are they old enough? I don't know.
I think so.
Oh yeah, that's true. Werewolf, dark humor, motherfuckers. When anyone insults Christians, yeah, these people are like this whole idea of fascism. The enemy is both weak and strong. They will come out in force, be like, slur, slur, slur. Go to the gas chamber. Oh, I love Hitler. And then
you're Charlie Kirk joke, and it's like,
what?
you need to be fired.
This is unacceptable. This is mocking someone's death. It's like, bro, watch the George Floyd memes from the past 5
Oh
years
my
and fucking
God,
tell me that
yeah,
you don't give a
Jesus
fuck.
Christ.
Like, it is so dumb. All right, so. Yeah, they talked about raping their enemies, driving them to suicide, and lauded Republicans who they believe supported slavery. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the N-word with the A and the UH, which I don't even know if like I know any black person that does this. This is like white racist people trying to make fun of black culture.
Or it's like suburban white boys trying to sound tough.
It's so funny. These people, the conservatives, I saw a post from Lauren Chen who was said like, oh, this must go hard if you're like a wine mom or whatever. And I'm like, go hard comes from go hard in the paint, which comes from basketball, which comes from like rap culture and like I think it's a Waka Flocka song. And these people are the ones who are like, rap is degenerate. It's not real music. Blacks have a degenerate culture.
Half the words that they use, dude and man and bro,
that's
black culture.
They all secretly...
Groovy.
They all secretly want to be cool. So they like love to LARP and be like, this is disgusting. We are a higher culture that doesn't participate in this. I only listen to classical music. But then they all like love dressing up like pimps and rappers and like doing, because it is cool. That's why these words spread.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Because you sound cool. Like
Anyway, various variations of the N-word. More than a dozen times in the chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of the New York State. So again, guys, these aren't like, it's the staffer. Remember when the DeSantis staffer posted the black sun, like the neo-Nazi swastika rotating in like a DeSantis video? And it's like, oh, well, he was just a guy we found on the street. These are like people in positions of power.
Yes.
And to be clear, being defended by like the TPUSA people, by the vice president, like it's not even like they're like, well, we got to denounce this. I think the one person I saw do this, it was like Ben Shapiro. Because of course, because Ben Shapiro is like, well, hold on, it's attacking me now, and I'm Jewish, so it's not okay.
The one thing he will be like, well.
Which is why if we make Donald Trump anti-Semitic, like if Donald Trump says the K word on stream, or like on a debate stage,
he's definitely said it before, man. Like
of course he has, but if we hot mic him doing that, we'll get the Ben Shapiro people on our side, right? Anyway, bye. Bobby Walker. Oh yeah, he referred to rape as epic. Peter.
Well.
Well, I mean, and Peter Guenta, who at the same time was chair of the same organization, wrote in a message sent in June that everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. Like, again, these people probably don't want gas chambers. I'm guessing they're not like, let's literally kill our enemies. But the reason they're able to say this so like, I don't know, lazily just whoop, there's my slur, there's my kill everyone, is because they're an extension of what their real beliefs is, which is I hate my enemies, they should all die, they should all go away. And like, this is after them clutching their fucking pearls because people said rest in piss to Charlie Kirk. And it's like, we know what your group chats look like. Like, at the very least, don't play coy with me. Just understand that a lot of people want their enemies to not exist. Like, that's just the way it works.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I think demonstrates that I think that they are trying to kind of sound edgy to each other to impress each other. It's a culture where I do think that they are, radicalizing each other further
Yeah.
to score points. Also, when he said Ben Shapiro people, he didn't mean Jews. He meant people who watch
Yes.
Ben Shapiro.
Specifically meant Republican Jews, to be clear. That's true, first name, last name. I forgot that he said Shylock. I don't know if he knew that. God, he does so much racist shit all the time that I just kind of forget, but I don't know if he knew that was anti-Semitic. I bet Donald Trump would say, I Jewed him down when talking about a deal.
Probably.
Yeah. Which used to be not racist, by the way. I mean, it was always racist, but like people, in the same way people say gypped when they're referring to like Romani gypsies, like they don't realize they're using a slur. They're just like.
It's not much of a slur. It's not really like a thing in the U.S. I feel like, or at least on the West Coast. I don't know.
Well, Jew him down. I mean, that's.
Well,
that one's a little more obvious.
Pretty blatant, yeah.
But I think a lot of the people who use that don't even realize what they're doing. It's stupid. Anyway, Popcorn Charlie.
William Hendricks.
No, here. We just read the. God, I told you we talked about this.
Referring to an upcoming vote on whether he should become chair of the Young Republican National Federation, the GOP's 15,000-member political organization for Republicans between 18 and 40 years old. I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued. 2 members of the chat responded.
So I don't know if these are screenshots or recreations, but regardless, this is like verbatim what they said. So when do we start bullying, dude? We have a solid 3 people who can probably have have them want to jump. What?
What?
I think he's saying like
to like kill them, make them want to kill themselves. Maybe.
Maybe I think he's saying like jump over to a yes vote.
Oh.
If they vote for us, why would they be gassed? When do we bring that side out? I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers. Fire emoji. Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. I'm ready to watch people burn now. We gotta pretend we like them. Hey, come on in, take a nice shower and relax. Boom, they're dead. And it's like, guys, as an anti-Semitic connoisseur, this is so fucking lame. Like, what if we killed people like Hitler? Like, anti-Semitism is an art, and it can be so much funnier than this. I'm sorry.
Oh my fucking god.
All right. The exchange is part of a trove of Telegram chats obtained by Politico and spanning more than 7 months of messages among young Republican leaders in New York, Kansas, Arizona, and Vermont. The chat offers an unfiltered look at how a new generation of GOP activists talk when they think no one is listening. Now, to be clear, I think this is where we have to show what they look like. So, let's see. Young Republicans.
Also, and that's what I mean. The thing is that they're not even funny. They are like they are hardcore forcing the jokes. They're forcing the jokes.
So like I do a movie podcast with my friend Rosa. Me and her are both Jewish, and we're so good at being anti-Semitic. And like, cause we do the voice and like we live around our Jewish family. So and these people are just like, oh. these are when you see someone online and they're calling you a degenerate, when they like use the T word for like trans people and say like you're gross, you'll never be a woman. This is who's mocking you guys.
This is it.
Never ever ever take like. I don't know. Is Death Awaits in my chat right now? Death Awaits is member. She's been here a while. She got mocked by this like stupid fucking dipshit guy at the Charlie Kirk thing, UFA, and she took it so well because she's like, yeah, art and insults like slob.
For the white supremacy are like dumb, ugly, and untalented.
It's always every right wing hateful bigot thing. Always, I've never met a secure person who believes any of this stuff. It's always I'm not good enough. Someone took my spot in a college. They're getting privileges. I'm not. I've never seen someone who has like a secure life and everything they need. To be clear, I'm sure there's like Did you see one battle after another?
Mm.
There's like a secret cabal of like white supremacists who are all rich, and I'm sure there's people who are like totally well off that do, they have racist,
Of
tendencies,
course,
but
yeah.
so many of them are just insecure, whether it's sexually, intelligence, any of
Sexually
that.
is extremely significant. That I don't know how inappropriate I can get here, but
You can say whatever you want.
I get so many messages, like DM requests on X and Instagram from white men who are like, "Can you please tell me my penis is small?" And that, like, this one dude was just on me for years and was like, can you send me a voice message saying you want to fuck my BBC bullies
God,
and you hate
what
my
was the
tiny
one?
white penis?"
What was the one who was like, "I want you to step on me," but it was like, he was like imagining he was small or something. You told me like there's some weird one,
Oh my
like
fucking
really weird
god,
one.
the guy that was like, I want you to, yeah, like I like he wants to be shrunk down and be stepped on by giant women.
And it's like you see this like throughout the ages. Like, what's the
Mhm.
propaganda against Moroccan immigrants? It's like, here's like the big ape, and it's taking your white women, and it's like, oh, here's
Yes.
the refugee rape crisis, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's always about this, like, you're not good enough, and these people are coming in, and
This
they're
hyper masculine big cock man is, spoiling your pure white wife and daughter, you know.
Odds record says unblock me.
And
What am I talking? Devin, my friend Devin, always posts like the entirety copy paste of the rant from of the Iron Giant. Do you know what I'm talking about?
oh,
When they're the
yes,
diners, like, what am
yeah.
I talking about? What am I talking about? I'm talking about your goddamn security, Hogarth. While you are snoozing in your whittle jammies back in Washington, we are wide awake and worried. This is that's he's the epitome of
Wait,
right
wait,
wing
can you show
insecurity.
the picture of them all standing together?
Which one?
Close this.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can find it. Scroll up a bit.
this.
Yes. This is this. Oh,
Oh, why is
no.
it so
Oh my
tiny?
God.
Oh, do I have to
I wanna
go
find
on
it.
Instagram? Facebook always does this.
I know.
Dude, they're
Like,
all hogs.
like they're like this. They're very sloppy looking. They're very.
This is the master
They
race.
don't know how to dress themselves. Their suits are ill-fitting. Their clothes are ill-fitting, and they just look horrible. They don't know how to style themselves. This is evidently the master race, though.
Guys, please body shame these people. I know body shaming can come back on. Like, look, if you look like this, guys, that should be a wake up call that, like, I look like the people that are just,
Well, it's also
like,
it's okay to look like this, but I think it hits different when again you are insisting I'm better than everyone who is not white,
but
and they're like
I guess what I'm saying is
creatures.
if you look like this and you're secure in your appearance, there's a reason that you're in my chat and you are not a neo-Nazi or a Republican because you're
Yes.
like, I'm fine looking like this. But if you're like this and you're insecure, instead of taking it out on all these other groups, either self-improve, get better dressed, ask your friends for tips. On, and he had his tech decks and he was like,
And
magazine. I think the gun was on the shelf behind him, so he could have gotten up and got the firearm.
why would he do that?
Why? What?
Was he threatening you?
No, he. I actually asked him. I was like, "Oh, why do you have like loaded weapons in your studio?" And he's like, "Look, people try to kill me," which is like fair.
Okay,
Like
that's
if
fair.
they found out where
Yeah.
the compound is, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, let's read through more of this. So, since Politico began making inquiries, one member of the group chat is no longer employed at their job, and another job's offer was rescinded. Prominent New York Republicans, including Representative Elise Stefanik and State Senate Minority Leader Rob Ort, have denounced the chat. So they realize, and this has kind of been my like hopium, which is Republicans still know, even if they're willing to use these horrible people, most people don't like this. Like, you can call it propaganda, or you can call it like, hey, we taught each other to preach love like since the 60s and get over this horrible stuff. When people see injustice like this, they're like, wait, hold on, I don't like this. So as much as you see the Nick Fuentes movement growing, as much as you see like, yeah, Twitter's now a Nazi shithole, most average normie people see this shit and they're like, fucking no.
Yeah,
And
they're
that,
not
like,
a fan of it.
they're going mask off too fast. Thank God. I think this is actually hurting them more than growing the movement in a way that will gain them power. But we'll see, because there's a lot of them, like we said, in power. So the more we can expose this, the better.
A liberating atmosphere. The 2,900 pages of chat shared among a dozen millennial and Gen Z Republicans between early January and mid-August chronicle their campaign to seize control of the National Young Republican organization on a hardline pro-Donald Trump platform. Many of the chat members already work inside government or party politics, and one serves as a state senator.
Yeah, so this is not staffers. This is vice chairs. This is literally state senators. And people are like, well, he's not a real senator. He's a state senator. It's like, look at Mike Lee. Like Mike Lee is like one of the more racist people, and there was another guy. It wasn't Steve King. It was something King. They were just like retweeting white supremacist shit and like talking about like crimes his
Those
hats
are
and like
people with power.
yeah. And it's
It's
like
not good.
these people didn't like disappear in 1965. It
Mhm.
wasn't like, well, I guess racism's over. It's like, hey, we had to like fight for that, and there was a bunch of
Yeah.
people fighting against it, and those people are still alive, and they have kids, and those kids are raised with those values. Like, it's pretty bad. So like, people like to make fun of like because we were like post Obama or during the Obama years, there'd be like, oh, the college gender studies people be like,
Mhm.
we live in a world of white supremacy, and it's like, kind of. Those people
We
never
do.
disappeared, and
They
they're
didn't
gonna do
disappear.
everything they can to
Yeah.
keep making it happen. So. Together, the messages reveal a culture where racist, anti-Semitic, and violent rhetoric circulate freely, and where the Trump era loosening of political norms has made such talk feel less taboo among those positioning themselves as the party's next leaders. To be clear, if you go on 4chan in like 2010, this was
Mhm.
happening, obviously.
Yeah.
But the difference is now those people are in positions of power, feel comfortable doing it even in places where their messages could get leaked. Where before it was in anonymous messaging boards.
Mhm.
But like that's the
They
thing
were
is
little
it's
online
always
ghouls.
yeah, now they're online ghouls with jobs.
Yep. The more the political atmosphere is open and liberating, like it has been with the emergence of Trump and a more right wing GOP even before him, it opens up young people and older people to telling racist jokes, making racist commentaries in private and public, said Joe Fegan, a Texas A&M sociology professor who has studied racism for the last 60 years. He's the racism expert. He's also concerned the words would be applied to public policy. It's chilling, of course, because they will act on these views.
Yeah, it's was it Lee Atwater or was it Goldman? I don't remember the one who was like
Hmm.
it's the famous quote. It's you say N word, N word, N word, but now you can't do that anymore. It's less socially acceptable, so you have to dog whistle. You say states' rights. You say
Hmm.
busing. Like this is what they're doing. They're always going to
Hmm.
make this into a well. I'm not racist. I just say racist jokes behind the scenes that aren't really jokes and just slight exaggerations
Hmm.
of my beliefs. And then I pass bills that disenfranchise black people,
Yep.
but I'm not racist.
Hmm.
Oh, Josiah's here. So that's Josiah. Thank you for the 10. Can't wait for the political article about the text I've leaked from you. Honestly, let's look at our last text, Josiah. I'm sorry you said some wild shit. Let's see. Group text, live and learn group text. Is Josiah recommending me what to say to Gavin Newsom? Oh no. What to say to Taylor Lorenz because of the chorus stuff. When you go to pay for your check, be prepared to give a full forensic accounting of who you do businesses with. Who do you bank with? Trust is dark money. That's good. That's fine.
Jesus
Guys,
Christ.
I had dinner with Taylor Lorenz. It went really well last
Mhm.
night. She's fun to talk to, very tuned in politically, and
I
it's
played with fidget spinners with her at the VidCon party.
is that what you're doing? You're
Yeah.
stimming.
Yeah, we played with fidget spinners together. It was hilarious.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Had you taken your Vyvanse that day?
It had worn off.
There you go.
It's been a long day. It was gone. It was gone.
All right. The more the political atmosphere is open and liberating,
I
like it
think I
has.
just read that one.
Oh, did you already read this?
Idiot.
Fuck, shit, fuck. Fuck. That is a Charlie moment.
Mhm.
Like even when I fuck up, it's that's Charlie.
Yeah.
Look at this hog. Look at this fucking prize pig. These are these
He's
people.
also Italian, man. They just became white. What's going on?
I didn't know Michael Knowles was Italian. Like doesn't he look brown? Do you know who Michael Knowles is?
Yeah, no, he looked I thought he was a white guy, probably.
Well, obviously, given his rhetoric, I thought he might be like like part Arabic, part
He
Latino or
looks like,
something.
yeah, he could be like half Latino or something.
Yeah, but then you listen to what he says, and it's like he's either one of those like Indian people posing as Nazis on the internet, or he's actually white.
Yeah.
Oop, Brett83, thank you for the 5. The stream froze on my end the second you said edge. Take that for what you
Oh,
will.
shit.
Look, you can edge and watch whatever, man. Just don't tell me about it. All right, the dynamic of easy racism and casual cruelty played out in often dark, vivid fashion inside the chats, where campaign talk and party gossip blurred into the streams of slurs and violent fantasies. That's like, this is a good way to word it, where it's like, this isn't like, hey, here's the soy pill stream where I talk about voting rights and how black people are being discriminated against and how racist and fascist Republicans are. And then he makes an anti-Semitic joke, which is in contraction to all of that. And that's why it's funny, because clearly he doesn't believe this, versus, wow, I sure do want to hate Jews more tomorrow. Also, anti-Semitic joke. And it's like yeah, it's blending
yeah,
in. Like,
look,
go ahead.
the group chat members spoke freely about the pressure to cow to Trump to avoid being called a rhino, the love of Nazis within their party's right wing, and the president's alleged work to suppress documents related to wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein's child sex crimes.
Trump's too busy burning the Epstein files, Alex Dwyer, the chair of the Kansas Young Republicans, wrote in one instance. Dwyer and K. Katie, what a name, declined to comment. Maligno sounds like a Mexican superhero that gives you cancer. Oh no, watch out, Maligno. And he's like, you cannot stop me, Batman. Maligno and Hendricks did not return requests for comment. But some involved in the chat did respond publicly. Guinta claimed the release of the chat as part of a highly coordinated year-long character assassination led by Gavin Wax and the New York City Young Republican Club. An allusion to a once obscured internecine. I always can't pronounce this. Internecine? What does this mean again?
Don't ask me.
Destructive to both sides. It's it's like a mutually assured destruction. Internecine war that has now spilled out into the open. So like, you're trying to assassinate our character by quoting us directly, verbatim? That's awful.
How terrible. With context. With all of the context.
Yeah, it's not like, well, you just took a screenshot. It's like, well, here's like 100 messages before.
Yeah. These logs were sourced by way of extortion and provided to Politico by the very same people conspiring against me, he said. What's most disheartening is that, despite my unwavering support of President Trump since 2016, rogue members of his administration, including Gavin Wax, have participated in this conspiracy to ruin me publicly simply because I challenged them privately.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Right. Jesus Christ. Josiah, thank you for the $100, you goat. I minimized the app in my phone as I walked down the stairs, was listening, heard you shout, look at this hog. Heard your co-host laugh in surprise, dropped my phone and shocked down the steps because of the obvious innuendo. Thanks for the giant crack in my screen. Oh my, wait, why did you give me $100 after I caused you to crack your phone, dude? Repair it. Oh, can I refund your super chat? I feel bad, dude. I'll super chat you back. Jesus Christ, dude.
That's fucking hilarious.
I forgot. I think calling it a hog is really funny. Sometimes people will be like,
cranking my hog.
Yeah, cranking my hog. I like when people just say post hog. And there is a, hold on, let me see if I can find this.
Does that mean like post goon?
Post hog. Post hog is a website, and I see, yeah. So I see ads for this all in San Francisco, and it's like, they'll be like, need a better solution? Post hog.
Terrible name. That's a horrible name.
Billboards in San Francisco are awful. They're all advertising AI products to other software engineers. And they're just like, first of all, I'm a software engineer, and I read it. I'm like, even if I wanted to use like the best AI API service, I'm not going to learn about that from a fucking billboard. And then everyone else who isn't a software engineer reads that, and they're like, what the fuck is this?
What the hell is post hog?
Yeah, what the fuck is post hog? But yeah, thank you, Josiah. I'm sorry about your phone screen.
There we go.
Show him your hog. Super chat back. Just giving money to YouTube. I'll give Josiah $100 in cash. That's what I'll do. It's like post haste, but faster. Wax, a staffer in Trump's State Department, formerly led the New York Young Republican Club, a separate city-based group that is at odds with the state organization, the New York State Young Republicans. So they have. Wait, what? They're like a faction. There's like the less racist ones. Yes. There's the New York State Young Republicans and the New York Young Republicans. And they're like, well, they hate black people a little too much for me.
There's the non-Trump side, maybe. Like you don't have
the never
like
Trumpers,
Trump.
yeah.
And then the other side that's like, you must like him.
Despite his allusions to infighting, Guinta still apologized. I am so sorry to those offended by the insensitive and inexcusable language found with the more than 28,000 messages of a private group chat that I created during my campaign to lead the Young Republicans. While I take complete responsibility, I had no way of verifying their accuracy, and I'm deeply concerned that the message logs in questions may have been deceptively doctored. Interesting. So he's claiming, well, guys, I make Jewish jokes, but not that many. You made it leak like 10%, where it's probably 5%. Okay.
I mean, like, you would hope that they would, if they were deceptively doctored, you would hope that the jokes would be better.
Right.
You know,
like I don't know if I could right now Control F and find an anti-Semitic joke I've thrown in like a Discord chat, but it would probably be pretty funny, I would guess. I mean, I made it, so of course
I should
it's
hope
funny.
so.
Like I love this one's good, and it probably comes from Nazis, but my friend's like, hey, can you spot me like 50? Oh no, yeah. Rosa asked me to spot her some money. And she's like, hey, like, can you spot me like $50? Like, $50? What do you need $30 for? You really think I'm just gonna give you $10? Absolutely not. Police, this woman is trying to rob me for $5.
Works in the Trump administration, Michael Bartels, who according to his LinkedIn account serves as a senior advisor in the office administration. Bartels didn't have much to say in the chat, but he didn't offer any pushback against the offensive rhetoric in it either. He declined to comment. Ooh.
Right. So this is the like, guys, stop. Stop. You're gonna
Why do they use their full names? That's something that's weird about this, is it feels like kind of like why don't they have like secret
anonymous
names?
I think,
Yeah.
does Telegram let you make a pseudonym?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I don't know. I would have.
I would have too.
I guess it's they got a
our super secret like Nazi chat? Yeah, I'd use a fucking
the SS Nazi chat?
Yeah, like fucking
Super secret Nazi chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. A notarized affidavit signed by Bartels and obtained by Politico also sheds light on the intra-party rivalry and led the Restorier War Room Telegram chat to be made public. Bartels references Wax as well. He wrote that he did not give Politico the chat and that Wax demanded in a phone call that he provided the full chat log. When I attempted to resist that demand after providing some of the requested information, Wax threatened my professional standing and raised the possibility of potential legal action related to an alleged breach of non-disclosure agreement, Bartels claimed. My position within the New York Young Republicans Club was directly threatened. So they're coming out like, this is character assassination. You blackmailed us into leaking our chat logs. Like,
where we were racist and horrible.
Yeah, he demanded that we release it. Like,
you didn't have to.
Yeah, you could have just not done it. But you know, it's like, oh, you're gonna smear me by saying the words that I said. Like,
Jesus. Walker, who now leads the New York State Young Republicans, touched on a similar theme, saying that he believes portions of the chat may have been altered, taken out of context, or otherwise manipulated. That the private exchanges were obtained and released in a way clearly intended to inflict harm. He also apologized.
So, to be clear, I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
If you scroll to the top of all of these messages,
mm-hmm.
it says, guys, we should never say colon. And then all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Never say any of this, colon.
They left that part out where they say, we don't approve of this language.
Deceptively
don't ever say it.
Edited.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely atrocious.
Wow.
This guy is, I always see him, not gay Ben. He just says, I'm not gay. Like that. He never talks about what we're talking about. I actually have a chatter that I miss. His name was like HMMMM, and he would just always super chat and then something that was unintelligible, like stroke language. And I thought at first that he might have been ESL, but I think he was just trying to give me a stroke, which was very funny.
Maybe.
I really do miss that kind of
humor.
humor.
Can you give someone a stroke by super chat? By making them read?
It'll feel like you're having one, where it's like, does anyone ever think to look more like do more thing? And it's like... his apology. There's no excuse. But first of all, he also apologized. There's no excuse. Just before I read any of that, right above this, he says an excuse. But anyway, there is no excuse for the language and tone in messages attributed to me. The language is wrong and hurtful, and I sincerely apologize, Walker said. This has been a painful lesson about judgment and trust. Yeah, the lesson is not, maybe I shouldn't spam slurs in the group chat. The lesson is like, I really shouldn't trust these people with my group chat.
I think they were accusing, the guy who leaked, I think, was Jewish, and so I've heard that, like, some of them have been saying, like,
never trust. Yeah, they're doubling down, like, so what you're saying is, I was right. I'm committed to moving forward with greater care, respect, and accountability in everything I say and do. Yeah, let's watch the 2 years, the next leak.
251 times. Mixed into formal conversations about whipping votes, social media strategy, and logistics, the members of the chat slung around an array of slurs, which politicals were publishing to show how they spoke. Epithets like the F slur, retarded, and the N-word appeared more than 251 times combined.
We need to pause here. Guys, look. People get on my shit for saying retarded. Notice that 2 of these slurs are censored. And one of them isn't. It's because it's not
how I said
as bad.
One aloud.
Notice how she said it and she wasn't scared. Now, guys, I did ask Gavin Newsom if he'd call Trump retarded today. He laughed. He said, no, definitely not gonna say that. That is not acceptable language for these respectable Democrats. So he'll have to earn my vote another way. Yeah. But yeah, guys, look, retarded, I understand why people don't like it. It is an able slur. People do use it to disparage people, but I think it's also a very apt descriptor of someone who's mentally slow. So
I think it's also, you know, like words like idiot, moron.
Those were all,
dumb, those were all once medical diagnoses, and we later moved away from that language. I feel like retarded is no longer used, I think, in a medical context.
Not at all, yeah.
And so I do think like eventually it will just become like stupid moron idiot. I think it's gonna change.
Yeah. Have you
Um,
seen what's the Norm Macdonald clip where he's like, "What are you retarded? I'm sorry, you're not supposed to say that. What are you Down syndrome?" In one instance, Walker, who at the time was a staffer for Ort, talked about how a mutual friend of some in the chat dated this very obese Indian woman for a period of time.
Who are they to talk?
Gionta responded, yeah, wait, what? Gionta responded that the woman was not Indian. It's like, oh, sorry, so guys, when we say like they're not joking,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, hey, look at this fat Indian woman. It's like, this isn't a joke about like, wouldn't it be funny if we were racist? This is, hey, I don't like Indian fat people. First of all, these people are obese. Second of all, they're like the defense is not, well, she wasn't Indian. You know, it's like, okay, like that would have been a bad thing. Like,
Oh well, finish it up.
oh yeah, she just didn't bathe often, says Samuel Douglas, a state senator from northern Vermont, and the head of the state's Young Republicans replied. So this is what JD Vance is replying, defending. He's like, oh yeah, I know they called Indian people smelly, and that Indian is a pejorative, and that people who don't bathe are akin to Indian people, who I think is a pejorative. But my wife's one of the good ones, and I think we should just
Yeah.
forgive this. It's ghoulish. It's transparently awful. Like, think about this compared to, do you know who Al Franken is?
No.
He was like a former representative, or was he a senator? I think he was a senator. And he like did a joke that the woman he did this to was in on, where she was on a plane and he like pretended to grope her or something. He was like holding his hands over her boobs, and he stepped down, and the Democrats kicked him out. And it's like, all right, here's all these people just spamming the N word over and over and over, and it's like, you know what, guys, this was in the past. These are just college kids. This is locker room
20-year-olds.
talk. Who are those black twins with the podcast? Not oh my god, the Hodge twins. I saw them being like like, you guys are such snowflakes, and it's like, okay,
Bro.
I don't like calling people Uncle Tom, but it's like, all right, this, you're defending a group of people that are like, yeah, blacks are inferior. It's like,
they like
you
hate-
care.
Like what do you like what do they think these people think of them?
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Josiah's still here. Yeah, the Hodge twins, the Hog twins, more like. Am I right?
Damn.
All right, here we go.
In a separate conversation, Kunta shared that his flight to Charleston, South Carolina landed safely. Then he offered some advice for his fellow young Republicans. If your pilot is a she and she looks 10 shades darker than someone from Sicily, just end it there. Scream the no-no word, Keonta wrote. Okay, see, that's my thing. Why? Can I scroll up?
Yeah. Is that Keonta? Who is this? Scroll on.
That's Keonta.
Wait, scroll on. Is it?
This is him.
Yeah. Okay. So
Peter
this is the
Keonta.
man who said, if you see a black woman flying your plane, scream the N-word at her.
Dude, he looks like he could be Arab or Latino. What the fuck is he on about?
Yeah.
This is what I mean, man.
And I'm going to talk about this in my Charlie Kirk vid, but like the Charlie Kirk thing being like, well, I don't know if I would trust a black pilot thanks to this DEI policy. And it's like, the thing that he was complaining about was a pilot training program. It wasn't, we're just hiring more black women pilots. It was like a school initiative to try to encourage more black women to apply and other like minority groups. So like, it's not, hey, let's look at a pool of qualified. It's not even like the even more defensible DI thing, which is like, let's just look at a pool of qualified candidates and make sure we have a diverse group of voices. It was, let's encourage people to go to the thing that will make them qualified pilots.
Yes, it was literally just, hey guys, you should come to the school.
And then it's like, oh geez, oh god, a black woman flying. And I was like, oh god.
Receiving the same training.
Yeah, by the way, if you see a hog-like man and he's in charge of anything, you should question what he says behind closed doors. No. Hog-like Republican, to be clear. Douglas did not respond to the request for comment. Gee, I wonder why. In a statement, Ort called for members of the chat to resign. I was shocked. Okay, so this is like, some of these Republicans still have the illusion of decorum where they're like, yeah, I don't want this. And we realize how bad it looks. So he says, I was shocked and disgusted to learn that the racist, anti-Semitic, and misogynistic comments attributed to the... Hey, oh, I was going to say, they forgot Indian, but I guess that is covered in racist. Comments attributed to the members of the New York State Young Republicans, Ort said. This behavior is indefensible and has no place in our party or anywhere in public life. I love... This is so funny because this happens all the time, and they'll be like, "This is not who we are," and it's like, "No, this is
it's who you are.
You
Like,
keep doing
continue
it. It's
to be that way. I mean, like you guys are actively trying to take away votes from black people right now.
Yeah.
So, man, I don't. Maybe that is who you are.
It's like, what's the Onion article? It's like, no way to stop this says only country where this regularly happens. Yeah, or like, this isn't who we are says country who continuously does thing.
Walker had been in line to manage Republican Peter Obericker's campaign for Congress in upstate New York, but a spokesperson for the campaign said Walker won't be brought on in light of the comments in the chat. Good.
Seeking
Bitch.
Trump's endorsement. Seeking Trump's endorsement. The private rhetoric isn't happening in a vacuum. Duh. It comes amid a widespread coercing of the broader, coarsening of the broader political discourse, and as incendiary and racially offensive tropes from the right become increasingly common in the public debate. Last month, Trump posted an artificial intelligence generated video that showed House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero beside Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, whose fabricated remarks were about trading free healthcare for immigrant votes, a false, long-running GOP trope. The sombrero meme has been widely used to mock Democrats as the government shutdown wears on. I think they probably should have used better examples than this, like the Shylock thing, like the telling brown Congress people to go back to like their countries, like Mexicans are rapists thing. Like
I think they bring it up in his 2024 campaign, Trump spread false reports of Haitian migrants eating pets, and at one of his rallies welcomed comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, who called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage and joked about black people carving watermelons on Halloween. Oof.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think Tony Hinchcliffe is. Well, he might be racist. I don't know. But, like, I think he was probably joking and not exaggerating. But then you look, it's like, okay, but you're willing to perform at the Trump rallies.
Yeah, like, why would you
at that Madison Square, like, Nazi-looking thing.
Yeah, Jesus.
But the thing is, like, there are tons of examples of Trump being racist. I think one of the ones I think isn't is when he calls Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. And
that's just kind of hilarious.
Right, because that is not him being like, I'm calling every Native American Pocahontas. The joke is that Elizabeth Warren claimed to be Native American. Then it turns out she was like 1/300 billionth Native American. And then he's like, it's like calling a dumb person Einstein. That's how I do it. Right? Like, you're not using the Einstein as the pejorative. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
It had no connection to any tribe. She wasn't a member of any tribe. Her, living relatives had not been members of the
fraction,
tribe.
Right?
Well, there's a lot of... So, apparently there's tons of people who are Cherokee that have extremely, very little Cherokee blood, but they're members of, like, the tribe. Like the they have the card.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They've got the are there even slurs for Native Americans anymore? Redskin? That's why they changed the names of that team, right?
I think not really. I mean, I grew up in an area where like there were like kids who were part of like the Miwok tribe who came to our school. Like one of my friends was. I never heard slurs directed
because Native American racism, it's a lost art,
It's a lost art.
They killed so many of them. There's like not enough to like form the stereotypes anymore.
Yeah, it's like well, I can't even. Maybe chat knows.
Why is it so quiet? Are we too far away? Einstein was aioli. Is that a race? I thought it was a sauce. Well, I mean, the sauce is probably named after a people.
Yeah. What? I thought Einstein was German.
Well, maybe he's aioli German. I don't know.
Jewish.
Anyway, the point of this is like the Hakeem Jeffries thing. Like, I don't think that was that racist. The sombrero thing was just like, hey, these guys want to vote for illegal immigrants. Mexicans wear sombreros. It would be like throwing lederhosen on someone who was being pro-Munich or something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because these people are racist regardless.
Yeah.
But it's good that they pick better examples.
Yeah.
Liz Huston, a White House spokesperson, rejected the idea that Trump's rhetoric had anything to do with the chat members' language. Like, this is so dumb to me because obviously, yes, this has existed forever, but you can clearly track the progression of people willing to be more openly racist since 2016 and the rise of white supremacy. And like, even if Trump says things that are not explicitly white supremacist, for the most part, there's a reason they all feel and like saying locker room talk. And also, even if it was just locker room talk, Donald Trump has nothing to do with it, which is not, this thing that isn't that bad. While failing to mention the dangerous smears coming from Democratic politicians who have murdering their opponent and called Republicans Nazis and fascists. It's like, what, just because I said I love Hitler, I am a Nazi now? No one has been subjected to more vicious rhetoric and violence than President Trump and his supporters. Wow, this is, God, they're such little victim crybabies.
This is...
hate these people so much.
Embarrassing. In the Restorateur war room chat, Giunta tells his fellow Republicans that he spoke with the White House about an endorsement from Trump for his bid to become chairman of the National Federation. Trump and the Republican National Committee ultimately decided to stay neutral in the race. Damn, rejected by his king.
Nice.
His goat.
A White House official has said that it has no affiliation with Restore Young Republicans and that hundreds of groups asked the White House for its endorsement. Giunta was the most prominent voice in the chat, spreading racist messages and often encouraged or liked by other members. When Luke Mosman, the chair of the Arizona Young Republicans, asked if the New Yorkers in the chat were watching the NBA playoff game, Giunta responded, I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkey play ball. Giunta elsewhere refers to black people as the watermelon people. Like, this is perfect because it's like, okay, what is the context of this? Was it like, hey, I'm just trying to be shockful and like make you laugh or something? It's like, no, hey, do you watch NBA? It's just completely innocuous, non-political, non-racial thing. And he's like, monkeys. And it's like, gee, I wonder if this guy's racist. Like, it's so blatant.
Hendrix made a similar remark in July. Bro is at a chicken restaurant ordering his food. Would he like some watermelon and Kool-Aid with that? This shit, it's not even...
That's so lazy. Lazy racism.
Mm-hmm.
Hendricks was a communications assistant for Kansas Republican attorney Chris Kobach until Thursday. He said that in the chat, despite political differences, he's drawn to Missouri's Young Republicans organization because Missouri doesn't like F slurs. Jesus Christ!
I think maybe that comment was misinterpreted. It looks like Hendricks, could have genuinely been really excited for, some watermelon and Kool-Aid.
Wait, what? Because he's fat?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for ruining my joke, you bitch.
I'm going to say it was a fat-phobic joke that wasn't nearly as clever as it should have been. And I denounce you. I disavow Charlie, and we're not affiliated with her. I'm not endorsing her for president. If it was better, I would have. I thought you were going to comment how he looks like a fat lesbian.
He does.
Like, how are you going to use the F slur?
Like a fat lesbian he looks like a butch lesbian at a wedding.
Yeah, he's exactly what he looks like.
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. I was gonna say, is this at a gay wedding too? No, obviously not. No. Politico reached out to Denedry Herbert, a spokesperson for the Attorney General, who also serves as the Kansas GOP chair, and shared with her excerpts of the chat involving Hendricks. In response, Herbert said that we are aware of the issues raised in your article and that Hendricks is no longer employed. Yeah, I had some back and forth with the VC in Michigan. Current chair is a deer in headlights. We have a call Wednesday. Many agree. He did say, my delegates I bring will vote for the most right-wing person. Great. I love Hitler. Like, this is so blatant. It's so... God, I hate these people. All right.
Another exchange, Dwyer, the Kansas chair, informs Giunta that one of Michigan's Young Republicans promised him the group will vote for the most right-wing person to lead the national organization. Great, I love Hitler, Giunta responded. Dwyer reacted with a smiley face. I don't understand.
That's the thing, is like, I'm sure if I control F Hitler in some of my chats, I probably made a joke about being like, well, good old our boy Hitler. Yeah. But like the reaction chat would not be a smiley face or a heart. It would be a crying emoji or like a skull emoji because it's like, I'm dead. This is so dumb and funny because you're being exaggerated. They're like, cool. I also love Hitler.
Me as well.
Me as well. Few minority groups are spared. What a headline. Like, to be clear, it would be faster to name the minorities they weren't saying slurs. Giunta, who serves as chief of staff to New York State Assembly member Mike Riley, ultimately fell 6 points short of winning the chairship to lead the Young Republican National Federation earlier this year. Despite earning endorsements from Stefanik and longtime Trump advisor Roger Stone, Jesus Christ, Riley did not respond to requests for comment.
Early this year, Stefanik accepted an award from the New York State Young Republicans. She lauded Giunta for his tremendous leadership in August and had her campaign and the political PAC she leads donate to the state organization. Alex DeGrasse, a senior advisor for Stefanik, said the Congresswoman was absolutely appalled to learn about the alleged comments made by leaders of the New York State Republicans and other young Republicans in a large national group chat.
The apologist is like, I can't believe they were so stupid as to let the things that we all say leak. How dumb.
To use their full names. Yeah. Idiots.
God, so dumb. According to the description provided by Politico, the comments were heinous, anti-Semitic, racist, and unacceptable, he continued, noting Stefanik has never employed anyone in the chat. If the description by Politico is accurate, Congresswoman Stefanik calls for the NY Young Republicans responsible for those horrific comments in the chat to step down immediately. Roger Stone really condemned the comments? Roger Stone has said the most heinous racist shit. But, all right, you're Roger Stone now.
I, of course, have never seen this alleged chat room thread, he said. If it is authentic, I would, of course, denounce any such comments in the strongest possible terms. This would surprise me as it is inconsistent with Peter that I know, although I only know him in his capacity as the head of the New York Republicans, where I thought he did a good job. Why does he write like this?
He's like old and kind of senile at this
Yeah.
point, but he is one of the, like, they're doing the like Donald Trump thing where it's like David Duke. I don't know who David Duke is. I've never heard of him. Like, it's like,
Yeah,
oh, he's the
like
head of the KKK. What's the KKK? I've never heard of this group, the KKK. It's just like, come on, dude. And Mike Johnson is doing this too. It's like, hey, Mike Johnson, did you see this insane thing Republicans have done? And he's like, no, actually, I haven't. It's like, okay, well, let's say it's true. What do you think? Well, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't comment. And then he just dodges.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Gift subs. I gifted all my monthly subs. I'll gift you guys next year.
What the fuck?
Classic Republican deflection. Well, I don't know anything about that. I don't know what it is. This feels like watching a Nick Fuentes stream, but the complete opposite. Is that a good thing?
I hope so.
I hope that's good. I mean, a Nick Fuentes can be entertaining, but
I've never watched a Nick Fuentes stream.
is it because like there's two like vaguely gay-coded people on screen? Is that what you're talking about? Or because I'm talking about all the slurs?
I think it's
It's the slurs. Few minority groups are spared from the Young Republicans group chat. Their rhetoric, normalized at most points as dark humor, mirrors some popular conservative political commentators, podcasters, and comedians amidst a national erosion of what's considered acceptable discourse.
Giunta's line on a darker-skinned pilot, for example, echoes one used by slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk last year when he said, "If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified." Kirk was discussing how diversity hiring invites unwholesome thinking. That's not even...
Yeah. Did
how
you
that
see,
works.
was it, I think it was Phil Labonte, he's like the Tim Pool co-host. He talked about these chats and he was like, we told you this was coming. The Democrats' condemnation of racism has caused them to hide and like, say all these things because they're counterculturing the like narrative. And it's like, the party of personal responsibility is like, we're racist because you told us to be. It's that
Yeah,
comic where
like-
the guy's like shaving his head and getting the swastika tattoo and like, oh, like,
you made me this
yeah,
way.
like,
Dude,
if
grow
you
up.
call me Nazi, I become a Nazi.
Like, take accountability.
Also, like, I don't know why it's funny to me reading slain conservative activists. Like, slain.
Slain.
Like, what, is he a fucking dragon?
Dragon?
Yeah, like,
What is he?
like, you could say, like, assassinated,
Yeah.
shot, like,
Great enemy felled.
I have felled the great beast, Charlie Kirk. Walker also uses the moniker Eye Patch McCain, originally coined by conservative commentator Tucker Carlson in an apparent reference to GOP Dan Crenshaw. That's not, whatever. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to forgive some of the ableism. Crenshaw lost his eye while serving as a Navy SEAL in Afghanistan. Walker also makes the remark, "I prefer my war heroes not captured," a repeat of a similar 2015
Jesus
line.
Christ.
Like, this one's not that bad, but I'm sure that obviously the like, when I make fun of him, it's like, when Jasmine Crockett says Governor Hot Wheels to fucking Greg Abbott, I do think that's kind of funny.
Well, to be fair, he also, like, didn't he, like, not pass, like, voted no on, like, a specific law to make, like, buildings more accessible or some shit?
Oh, so he was like being anti-disabled.
I could be wrong about that, but he might, I think I read something.
The
today
fuck
that
you
he's
got
very-
mine, but like for
Yeah,
wheelchair,
yeah,
it's
that's
like,
insane,
like, well,
insane.
I have my
Yeah.
private little lift, but other wheelchairs, they don't get to go into my
Jesus.
congressional buildings.
Art Gibson, a professor at the University of Dayton who specializes in white racial extremism, surmised the young Republicans in the chat were influenced by Trump's language, which he said is often hyperbolic and emotionally charged.
Trump's persistent use of hostile, often inflammatory language that normalizes aggressive discourse in conservative circles can be incredibly influential on young operatives who are still trying to figure out what is that political discourse. Yeah, I mean,
because, like, you can tell that they're trying to impress each other and fit in with each other. Like, they're literally, and they're doing so by parroting Trump in many ways. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of, it's weird to watch. It's like watching children
yeah,
figure
like,
this shit out.
I'm cool. I'm racist too. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the most racist. I
Yeah.
love hating everyone but me.
And they're, they're from New York, so you know that, like, my God, unless they went to school in fucking Long Island, like, they were probably hated by all of their classmates for being dorks.
I think it was John Doyle, the like
Mhm.
neo-Nazi kid. But a lot of these people like got bullied as
Mhm.
kids, and if the bulliers were not white, then that like formed their racism at a young age.
Mhm.
But yeah. All right, Charlie, can you tell me about white supremacist symbols?
I know so much
Also,
about
it's not
that.
going to mention this in the article. Did you see the like swastika flag that guy had?
Yes,
like,
in the background of
yeah.
the fucking, oh my
And
God.
like, I thought they were gonna be like, someone put that there. I've never seen that in my life. And their defense now is like, well, it's hard to notice, and I think you can pick it up easier on the camera than like by eye. So like, we didn't really know. And like, is it even a
Jesus
swastika? It's like,
Christ.
okay,
Oh my
come
God.
on.
Gibson reviewed multiple excerpts of the Young Republicans chat provided by Politico. One was a late July message where Mosiman, the chair of the Arizona Young Republicans, mused about how the group could win support for their preferred candidate by linking an opponent to white supremacist groups. But Mosiman then realized the plan could backfire. Kansas's Young Republicans could end up becoming attracted to that opponent.
Yeah, it's like, guys, don't paint them as Nazis. It might work.
Well, yeah,
Like,
it's gonna work, and they'll vote for that guy.
it's
It's
lit-
like the weird racist dudes online who like Gavin Newsom because he has like a white family.
yes, yeah.
You know.
It's like, well, at least he's not like a
race
miscegenation
mixer,
guy
yeah.
like JD Vance.
Yeah.
Can we get them to start releasing Nazi edits with her, like pro-Nazi and fascism propaganda? OMG, I love this plan, says Rachel Hope, the Arizona Young Republicans events chair. The only problem is that we will lose the Kansas delegation, Mosiman said. Hope and the two Kansas Republicans in the chat reacted with a laughing face to the message, because it's true, not because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're joking. It's like, yeah, these people like Nazis.
Yeah.
Hope did not respond to requests for comment. Mosiman declined to comment.
Gibson said the Young Republicans' conversations reminded him of online discussions between members of neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups. Oh, you say it once or twice, it's a joke, but you say it 251 times, it's no longer a joke, Gibson said. The more we repeat certain ideas, the more real they become to us.
Weeks later, someone in the chat, staying in a hotel, asks his members to guess what room we're in. 1488. Dwyer responds, white supremacists use the number not 1488 because 14 is the number of words in the white supremacist slogan, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. H is the 8th letter in the alphabet, and 88 is often used as a shorthand for Heil Hitler. Have you seen, like, people will often, like, if they have a common name, like football lover, they'll put 88 because it's like their birth year.
Their birth year.
But then you're like, what year were you born,
Yeah,
motherfucker? Like,
yeah, what the hell? I've done that in my chat before. People with 88. I'm like, you know, what's that about? Another conversation in February, Giunta talks approvingly about the Orange County Teenage Republican Organization in New York, which appears to be part of the network of national teenage Republicans, and how he was pleased with its young members' ideological bent.
They support slavery and all that shit. Mega based. So here's, like, if you had any question as to the context of this isn't a joke to them. It's like, oh, you know, they're more right than me, or they support the most right-wing idea, and that is good. By the way, we're talking about appropriation of, like, black cool things. Based, that's from Little B, from Berkeley, Based God, and now Based has been appropriated, like, by the right wing. Yeah, which
sucks.
yeah, it's so dumb. But don't, you know, guys, don't let them take it. Just keep calling things Based. Don't let them take that.
Also, common Orange County L. I was about to say, common Orange County L. Why are there so many racists there?
Because there's a bunch of rich, white money, old money people.
Yeah.
In a statement, Orange County GOP Chair Courtney Canfield Green. Jesus, what a white name. Courtney Canfield. It's almost. You saw the.
Canfield Green.
Well, you saw the who's the replacement for Charlie Kirk? Brylan Hollyhand. It's like this, like, gay
Dude,
British,
what
like.
is the fucking, like, the right wing white people in America decided to start naming their kids the stupidest shit. And now some of them are old enough to, like, be people, and I don't like it. Like, I don't like meeting, like, Brylans.
Brylan. Well, it's so funny too because these are the people who are like, huh, you black people came and they called their
yeah,
kids
LaDasha,
Devontae. LaDasha, that's dumb. Anyway, come here, Riley, spelled Ryly. Like,
Yeah, fucking Kaylee, like Keighleyigh.
oh yeah, like Kaylee McEnany or whatever.
Yeah.
Our teen volunteers have no affiliation with the New York Senate Young Republican or Senate Young Republicans or the YRNF, she said. This behavior has no home within the Republican Party in Orange County.
It sure does.
Yeah, that clearly does.
Ed Cox, the chair of the New York State GOP, also condemned the remarks made in the chat. I was shocked and disgusted to learn about the reports of comments made by a small group of young Republicans, he said.
And, like, have the illusion, not the majority, but, like,
Yeah.
they're gonna quick these will win out in the end. Just be secretly racist. Language used in the chat often appear to be intended as jokes. Appear to be.
Mosman was derided by members of the chat as a
Maybe don't say that one.
yeah, and
I don't know.
two anti-Latino slurs.
Yeah.
Stay in the closet, F slur. Walker of New York also suggests in July, though he is the group's main target for the same epithet.
The group used slurs against Asians. I like how at the beginning they're like, yo, no group was spared, but now we're like, just in case you thought that maybe they weren't slurring against the Chinese. My people built the train tracks with the Chinese, Walker says, referring to his Italian ancestors.
I'm telling you, dude, it's these fucking Italians, bro.
Can we be racist against Italians? Look at these fucking, they're coming in here, they're bringing the spaghetti everywhere, come on. Let his people go. Maligno kills me, dude. That's like Magneto for cancer, dude.
Like,
No. keep the Asian slur though. In another instance, Mosman tells the group that the Spanish came to America and had sex with every single woman. Sex is gay, Dwyer writes. Sex, it was rape, Mosman replies. Epic, Walker says. Jesus. All right.
What the fuck? There's more explicit malice in some phrases too, especially when they turn their ire on opponents outside the chat, such as the leader of the rival Grow Young Republican slate, Hayden Paget, who defeated Giunta and was re-elected chairman of the Young Republicans.
I was going to say, before I read this next time, I'm like, if I was a school bully, you can absolutely call him Hayden F. Slur, right?
Yeah.
It just rhymes. And look at the next line.
Yep.
Oh, you got to read it now.
Oh, so you mean Hayden... I wrote the resolution himself. Giunta asked the group about the National Young Republican chairs in late May.
I love this jump. Rape Hayden, Mosman declared the following month. Adolf Paget is the F-slurred bunker as we speak. Is in the F-slurred bunker as we speak. Paget responded to the chat's language in a statement. The Young Republicans National Federation condemns all form of racism, anti-Semitism, and hate. Wow, this guy didn't even say like homophobia.
Yeah.
Like that's
no, we like that.
Yeah, it's like that specific thing where they called me the F slur. Like I'm not condemning that. I want to be clear that such behavior is entirely inconsistent with our values. It's like, yeah, I know we're reconsidering like loving Virginia and Obergefell and all these things that clearly display that we hate these people, but like this isn't us. This isn't who we are.
This is also like it seems like a good chunk of the Young Republicans are.
Speaking of chunk, look at this man. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. We're almost through this.
That rape Hayden took me by surprise. Like, what the fuck?
Can you replace all the slurs by saying Glorpus? He's in the Glorpus bunker as we... Okay, yeah. If we can't read a slur, we'll just say Glorpus. Thank you.
Okay. Giunta also had expletive-laden criticism for the Young Republicans in states that were supporting or leaning towards Paget's faction.
Did you almost stop yourself because you're like, is that the slur?
Yeah, I did. I was like,
Okay, Minnesota Glorpus, he messaged, just continuing. Arkansas inbred cowfuckers, Nebraska, revolt in our favor, blocked their bind and have a majority of their delegates. Maryland, fat, stinky Jew, Rhode... What is this? Just like stroke level slur spamming. Delegates, Maryland, dash, fat, stinky Jew, Rhode Island, traitorous, I think, is this cunts or is this
I think it's just cunts.
Who I will eradicate from the face of this planet. Like, I'm sorry, calling someone a fat stinky Jew is kind of funny. like this is the thing, when I do like a racist thing with my friends, like I'm laughing at the absurd idea that someone hates like a race so much that they're like just like sitting in their room and like seething. It's like, God, I hate fat stinky Jews. It's like, and it's like, oh, okay.
Jesus, relax. God damn. Giunta also said he planned to make one of the competing Republicans unalive himself on the convention floor. In another instance, Douglas, the Vermont state senator, describes to the group members how one of Paget's Jewish colleagues may have made a procedural error related to the number of Maryland delegates permitted at the national convention.
I was about to say, you're giving nationals to... Sick? What is this? Nationals too much credit and expecting the Jew to be on it. So it's like, again... Any and all of these, if you're like, well, they were joking. Like, if you were that naive, and it's like, I'm calling Jews dishonest, responding to a Jew being dishonest, and specifically being upset about it. Like, when I get mad at my co-host Rosa for doing something, I'll be like, very Jewish of you, you know? And it usually has nothing to do with being Jewish. It's like, oh, I can't believe you're asking me for money. Very Jewish. Or like Jonah, when I picked up that dollar, he's like, of course you would pick up that dollar, you know? But it's like, obviously, like, haha, isn't that funny? Well, even if he wasn't, like, if you made that joke to me, I'd be like, haha. But like, you know, it's like, what is this about? It's like, oh, we can't trust Jews because this Jew betrayed me. And it's like, okay, clearly.
Yeah.
Also, this is totally going to get demonetized because it's the AI is going to pick up all of the quoting.
I know.
If
we ever had a leak of this chat. While reporting this article, Politico was examining a separate allegation that Giunta and the Young Republicans mismanaged the New York organization's finances and hadn't paid at least one venue for a swanky holiday party it hosted last year. Politico's report detailed how the organization was missing required financial disclosure forms and how their subsequent efforts to file the forms revealed the organization was in more than $28,000 of debt.
Maybe they should have had some more Jews.
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
if you weren't so.
Things.
This is just like Hitler. It's like, all right, we'll kick out all the smart Jews, and then all the smart Jews goes and make the bomb. It's like, bro, if you were less anti-Semitic, you could have had them help you out with your debt problems.
Honestly, Jesus. As of Tuesday, updated records show the organization is in more than $38,000 of debt.
Christ. Oh, sick apparently means a spelling error.
Oh, okay. I've never.
Yeah, as a non-journalist.
Yeah.
Donations to the New York State Republicans' political account must be reported to the State Board of Elections. Expenditures must be reported too. At the time, Gianta told Politico the allegations were nothing more than a sad and pathetic attempt at a political hit job. Oh, so
Hmm.
as soon as it was like the chat wasn't leaked, he was like, "No, this is just like the Trump thing with the letter." He's like, "I don't even know how to draw. I mean, I've never drawn a picture." What do you say? I've never wrote a picture in my life.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, here's all these pictures you wrote. Here's you
Yeah.
saying the word enigma. Here's like,
Yeah.
it's like it's always
And
deny.
it's like a little girl's body too.
Yeah.
The one that like the sample one that they drew had like big boobs, and
Yeah.
then the one he drew had like breast butts.
It's like it
You
couldn't
get when you're just
possibly be
hitting
this
puberty.
bad. Like, nope, it is.
It's worse. Yeah.
NYSYR account be like $500 balding cream, $1,000 Ozempic, Walker said in one message. NYSYR will be declaring bankruptcy after this. I just know it, he said in another. I drained $10,000 tonight to pay for my next vacation to Italy. He appeared to joke about the bank account. I spent it on a massage, he says of another check. Great. Can't wait to get sued by our venue. So they're also just, on top of being horrible people, probably, misusing the
Committing
funds.
fraud.
Maybe he's joking, but,
Members of the chat occasionally appeared to be aware of its toxicity and even made remarks that considered the possibility someone outside their tight-knit group could view it. Walker seemed to consider the possibility the most. In one instance, he joked about bombing the Young Republican National Federation's convention in Nashville and then remarked, "Just kidding," for a signed FBI tracker.
Yeah. In another, he considered the totality of the thousands of messages he and his peers had written and what would happen if the public saw them come to light. If we ever had a leak of the chat, we would be cooked for real, for real. Another, this is African American, Oh, God. All right. Well, anyway. So if you're ever like, well, guys, Republicans aren't racist, and then every time this happens, I just thought it was good to highlight. So when you're looking at this Voting Rights Act stuff, just to tie it all together, there's a clear kind of people that are behind this. There's a clear implication. No matter what they say to you, they've got their intentions. Their grandpas and their dads were still part of that 1960s anti-civil rights stuff. I mean, Charlie Kirk literally called the Civil Rights Act like a mistake. And he's like, well, it's not because of racism. I just think it led to bad things. And it's like
what bad things?
Yeah, that's like saying, well,
racial equality? Well, not really.
Yeah, as close as we could have gotten.
As close as we've gotten.
He says like, well, DEI is bad and wouldn't have happened without the Civil Rights Act, or like, well, slavery. He's like saying slavery was bad because it led to the oppression of black people in America in the 1930s. It's like, well, no, slavery was bad, because you were enslaving people. Like the Civil Rights Act was good, and then maybe it led to things you didn't like, but you don't like the Civil Rights Act.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was much better than, continued racial segregation.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in for the news. I hope this didn't doom pill you. We're at TwitchCon. I did not pay for a ticket, so I'm not going in. But I'm networking. I met Gavin Newsom. Charlie met Gavin Newsom. Like I said, he's not going to call Trump retarded, so we might need to pick another candidate. Maybe Rokana will be on board. But yeah.
He was cool.
He's cool. He was cool. He was charismatic.
He was just such piercing eyes, and he made such good eye contact.
Did he grope you too, or is that just you?
I think that was just you, man.
Okay.
I think he just,
like when we took the photo, he
just,
give
you a little,
give you a little, all right, go get him, Tiger.
You got this, kid.
Yeah, but like unironically, like he seems more authentic than some of the other politicians I've talked to, where like he acknowledges his shortcomings. He was very boomer about like the technology. He was like, what's a Discord? What's a Facebook? What's a YouTube? And like he genuinely did seem like he cared about the Twitch community. Is like, hey, this is how you reach out to us. I mentioned you guys was like, hey, I've got a chat full of people that are always like, how do we help? How do we help? I was like, guys, like, give us a place to be, give us the materials. We'll go pass out flyers. We'll go knock on doors. So I think they're doing a good job of listening to the chat and the chat. Yeah. Chat, are we cooked? Chat, do we need to vote against Donald Trump?
For real?
Yeah.
And I think also just like, I appreciate that he clearly has an interest in like, I don't know, combating like the efficacy of Republican messaging by getting on fucking line, getting online.
Yeah, and he's like one of the only ones who's doing it pretty well.
Yeah.
With the we met the guy who does the Gavin Newsom Twitter.
Yeah, we all clapped.
Everyone clapped for him. He's great.
Fucking funny.
So yeah, like, does he have policies that we're 100% on board? Not necessarily. We like him here and there, but like, if I had to put money on who's the best person to probably beat the maybe Trump in 2028. Probably I would say Gavin Newsom as of now, but I can't endorse. I gotta see. Let's watch the debates. We'll watch them all together, so don't worry.
Because I don't want him to. I take issue with like I thought he was kind of shitty to the homeless a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I take issue with. I'm worried about that JPAC law.
JPEG?
So it's like he worked with JPAC, which is kind of like baby IPAC, for this
Baby
law
APEC.
about anti-Semitism in schools. And I
Yes,
think
where
it's
it's
good
like
to
if the
not.
teachers say something that might be anti-Israel, like we'll crack
Mhm.
down. Yeah, it's like almost like
That's what I'm worried. Like, okay, stopping anti-Semitic hate speech, good.
yeah,
That's good. That's positive.
but like federal or even state government saying teachers can only say it this way, like it's a little scary to cross that line,
Yeah,
even if you
like
agree with the ultimate
we
message.
should always be allowed to be critical of governments. If I critique the government of Iran, does it mean I hate Muslims? No, it means I'm critiquing the government of Iran.
Right.
You can critique Israel without hating Jewish people.
Yeah, saying it's illegal to be anti-Semitic, depending on the
Hmm.
context, can be worrying because it was the same thing with like, hey, Mahmoud Khalil supported terrorism, and it's like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah,
Like, what are
does
you
that?
using to
Yeah.
lock these people up? So it's a little scary. And also, I saw he did the thing where, like Trump, just like with the news people, he's like trying to get them to sign this like loyalty pledge, certain schools, and Gavin Newsom's like, we'll withhold funding if you sign this, and
Hmm.
it's like, okay, but like, isn't this like, are we fighting fire with fire here? Like, I don't know if I agree that like we should
Hmm.
collectively punish the school. So it's hard. I don't have a
Yeah.
definitive opinion on that. But overall, I think, moving in the right direction, fighting against Trump
That
in the best
insulin
way.
bill
Yeah.
was
$11
just,
insulin in California. That's
yeah,
great.
insane. And
Yeah.
they've been working on it for years apparently.
Yeah.
So that's fucking fantastic. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I say politicians are never trustworthy, but seems like a decent man.
It's almost
Um,
always picking the least bad option.
yes, it is literally yes. Yeah,
Okay.
picking the lesser evil.
Yeah. So, no endorsement yet, guys. We'll have to see. They have to earn it, right? Any last minute messages for us? AOC needs more experience. Yeah, guys, like I said, Gavin Newsom has the detriment of all of California's, baggage. And I still think he would do better than AOC because AOC is like just a magnet for hate from the right
Yeah,
wing and
yeah.
independence. Gavin Newsom takes up FDR policies for 540 EVs. I don't know what that means.
Electric
Yeah,
vehicles?
that's what I
I
thought.
don't know.
I honestly think that withholding funding from schools who sign the loyalty pledge is good. We have to show that being a quizzling and collaborating with fascism has consequences. I agree with that, but it's like some people are arguing right now. Let's not fight for the healthcare. Let's let them get taken away. The red
Hmm.
people in these states will get most hurt. Their hospitals
Hmm.
will shut down, and then they'll realize Trump is bad for them. And it's like,
Hmm.
I don't think we should
I don't want people
not.
to suffer.
Yeah, like I don't want
I
MAGA to
really
suffer.
don't want. And there's also a lot of people in those states that are not MAGA.
Yeah, most
Like,
people aren't politically tuned in.
they're not. And a lot of, especially like in southern states that are red, there's tons of black people there who vote blue. And it's like, I want them to die and suffer
Yeah, it's like
just out of like spite.
and it always comes down to like, yeah, obviously if the trolley problem was this was the only way to beat Trump in 2026 and 2028, like okay, but like that, I
Yeah,
don't think that's the case, and I don't think we
I
have to
don't think so
abandon our
either.
principles of let's not let people die.
Hmm.
So no question from me, just that you have a good day with the No Kings protest. Stay safe. We'll try our best.
Hmm.
Hassan used the zap spell on his dog. Cool. What does that have to do with what we're talking
It's
about?
just what the
This is the I got to bring out the bingo sheet and cross Hassan off on the
I
thing.
know. Every time. Why is it if you do politics online,
You have to talk
inevitably,
about Hassan.
everyone's like,
Well, he is the biggest person. I mean,
so what do you think about it? And it's like, I don't know, man. He's a guy.
he's a
So he's
dude.
just a dude.
Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned some stuff. Also, check out this whole weird loyalty pledge that says that you're not allowed to report on the Pentagon
Yeah, what
unless
the
you
fuck?
sign this like weird loyalty pledge to Trump. And even Fox News, and I think was it one of the two like Trump sycophantic networks said
Mm-hmm.
we're not signing this. It was either Newsmax or OAN, and
Mm-hmm.
then the other one did sign it. Like it's so
Like it's sus.
blatantly fascism.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to agree with us before you can like report
Mm-hmm.
on this crap. So fucking insane. But stay informed, stay safe. If you're in California, vote yes on Prop 50. Let us redistrict. And type one in the deep state. And I'll be on Live and Learn on Monday. And I'm writing the Charlie Kirk video. So, Enemy Charlie, where can they find you? I'll put your stuff in the description.
I usually stream on Twitch, but I also post on Instagram. I post on X. I'm trying to post more on YouTube. So there. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me on.
Yeah, of course. And I'm gonna go and hang out with drunk people, I guess, and I don't
Hell
drink,
yeah.
so we'll see how
Hell
that
yeah.
goes.